Vortex Spitfire. This is a 1x prism scope. It has lighted reticles, but what I really love about this small little compact scope is that it has an etched reticle as a backup. Now this is designed specifically for the AR-15, and so we're going to take a look at all the features and what this little scope is capable of. And guys, I'll tell you right off the bat, I am very impressed. You know, red dots are great for close quarter, quick target acquisition. And especially on an AR-15 rifle, they're small, they're handy, they're lightweight. And, you know, putting a large optic on there, to me, kind of defeats part of the purpose and the desirability of the AR-15 platform. Vortex has really come out with some pretty neat red dot scope options. And I've got the Spark, which I really like. And, in fact, I just picked up the Spark 2, and I'm going to do a review on it coming up. The Spitfire to me has a lot of advantages over both of those, just in that it has that etched reticle. It weighs 8.7 ounces, it's 4 inches in length, and it's parallax free. So that means you can move your head and still stay on target. The dot will remain on target. You have your elevation and your windage knobs here. Of course, these are screwed off and they're tethered with a steel cable, which I really like that, because a lot of times if you have rubberized cables, they can break. Then you have your battery compartment here, and that also has your dial to change the illumination. And here you can see the red, and then on the other side you have green. So you have both capabilities. You have a nice riser, and this will co-witness with your 1/3 backup sights.
Alright guys, well I'm back today with another high value and budget optics option for an AR-15 or similar platform. CVLIFE was nice enough. It's a 2.5 to 10 illuminated scope, and it comes with the mount included and the red laser attached to the side. With that being said, looking at this optic, and it's pretty durable, I'll be happy with that, and we will talk about its durability down at the range. So let's dig into those specs and features and performance, and just really why you would want something like this. The first thing I want to talk about is those basic specs and features, starting with the zoom levels from 2.5 to 10. This is going to get you from about 30 yards to maybe 500 or 600 yards for a normal 2.5 to 10, but I found that the glass clarity, the field of view, and the overall quality optic is going to lend this to be more of a 300 yard and in scope. Now, a lot of scopes that do go to the 10 power, you can easily take out to 1,000 yards, but again, the CVLIFE is limited of the glass quality, the edge clarity, and just the overall construction of the optic, I believe, again, is more of a 300 yard and in scope. Not to say that a 10 power scope couldn't go further. With that being said, this one has the crosshair mil-dot reticle system. So it's not designed for CQB, and I believe that's why they added the laser. At least I think that's why they added the laser. For me, if you wanted to use this for a personal defense situation up close, you would rely on the laser, and I use the term rely very loosely, because I would never rely on a cheaper side-mounted laser for a personal defense situation. But it is there, and I believe that's what it is there for. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a good one.
G'day and welcome to Mark and Sam After Work. Today I want to go through this Steiner scope. It's the military version, which is what the M stands for. 7 by its power range, its zoom range is from 8 power to 28 power. It's a mil scope, and it's running the MSR2 reticle. I'll put some images up so you can see that. But listen, a very nice scope, really well set up, really nice finish to it. It's a low sheen, black finish to it. Great big turrets on it, so it's nice and easy to use, nice and easy to grip. 34mm tube, really as you'd expect with the Steiner, very good quality glass. Very hard to capture that sort of stuff in the video side of things, to capture the real quality of it, but right up there in the top level. A nice fast focus ring on the back here, and it has both on the power ring with the little wing sitting on top of it, and on your fast focus reticle where the edge here has got some rubber, so it's nice and soft and gentle, so that it's nice and easy to use on your fingers and that sort of stuff. And of course, if you're pushing it up against your brow or anything like that, this is nice and soft in the back here, but nice to use. It's got a nice little dot on the top here too of this fast focus ring, which means you can really give yourself a check. You know where that's supposed to be, with where you've dialed it and that sort of stuff. A quick double check as to where it's at. You can see that easily, so rather than having to reset it or move it at all. The feel of the knobs, to start off with the power ring, it's really about perfect. It's a nice feel, nice strong feel. It's not going to be bumped easily, that sort of stuff, but not too hard to move. Nice and fluid to it, so it really does feel, well, like as good as they do feel, I suppose is where I put that. The knobs or the turrets are exposed, so there's no locking features or anything to go with this, but with the tension they've got things quite firm to move, so they're not going to be bumped or anything, but very tactile. The clicks are very, very obvious. You really could do it without any eyes on it type thing, so it works well on that score. And there's no annoying lock-up point for its zero side of things. Well, I say annoying because I prefer them not to have that. It has a decent range. There's 6 mil, but it does stop from rotating at that point. 6 mil in either direction for the windage side of things. Once you've gone around one full rotation, you'll see there's a little piece that pops up in the top of it. That means that both, in a way of being able to see it, you know you've got one rotation on.
I got a lot of people interested in learning about it because they knew what it is. It's the Xsight is from ATN. It's a day-night digital optic for hunters that are on a budget. It's at a fraction of the price that you'd ordinarily pay to get a nighttime optic. It comes in 2 versions, the 3 to 12 power version you see here and the 5 to 18 power version you see here. And they're both what's coming up next on Twang and Bang.
The ATN Xsight is a digital day and night capable rifle scope available in a 3 to 12 power and 5 to 18 power variant sharing the same electronics. Built around an Obsidian core processor, the Xsight behaves as much as a GPS-enabled video camera as it does a gun sight. In addition to allowing you to switch between day and night vision modes as needed, the Xsight can record through scope video and take still photos for storage on a micro SD card. Under the same water-resistant cap as the micro SD slot, the Xsight has micro USB and micro HDMI outputs for remote access and viewing, even in real time. The Xsight also provides a digital compass and GPS geotagging to help with navigation, as well as to allow you to display where you've been on a map. Though I haven't used this feature myself yet, I could see how it could be handy when combined with aerial photos in determining where best to hunt your next time out. Rubber buttons with large, high-contrast labels give you access to all of the Xsight's features and are laid out in a pattern that's easy to recognize through feel alone. ATN includes an 850 milliwatt infrared illuminator, which is necessary when...
And I hope to see you next time.
Today we're talking about optics, this guy right here, which is the Vortex Razor HD Gen 2E 1:6 variable power scope. When we start looking at optics, there's lots of stuff out there, whether it's little reflex sights like RMRs or your red dots like Aimpoint EOTech, or things that use lenses, fixed power like ACOGs, or you get into stuff like this, which are actually variable power. This basically comes in trying to marry up the good things as far as something like a red dot, as well as something with magnification, i.e. being able to use this on 1 power up close like you would a red dot, or being able to crank this up to the top end, 6 power, and being able to reach out longer distances, as well as use for target identification. This optic uses the VMR2 MOA reticle. Also, second focal plane. What does that mean? First focal plane, second focal plane. This being second focal plane, every time I look through the reticle, whether I'm on 1 power or 6 power, it's the exact same. First focal plane, as you adjust magnification, the reticle is going to increase or decrease in size. Where that actually plays out is this being MOA, minute of angle, you have representative lines on your vertical as well as horizontal axis, and you can use those lines to range distances. This being second focal plane, they only actually are representative of those distances when you're maxed out on 6 power. They also make a mil version, and then they also have just a BDC, bullet drop compensator, geared more towards kind of the 3-gun shooting. Having said that, you can obviously use the mil or MOA version as a BDC, basically by learning where your rounds are impacting on those different vertical lines. Either way, totally up to you. Dimensionally, just over 10 inches long and just over 21 ounces. Kind of heavy, but this being the Gen 2E, it's actually about a half pound lighter than the original, which begs the question, why didn't you guys make it light to begin with?